Welcome to the Algarve here in Portimão. Beautifully sunny day here in Portugal for the final qualifying of the season for the Michelin Le Mans Cup. I'm Graham Goodwin, sitting in for a rather unwell Johnny Palmer today, I'm afraid, and sitting in my regular chair, it's the tall guy, Ollie Gavin. Welcome to the booth for the Michelin Le Mans Cup. I think the first time you've called this one.
Yeah, it is. It's great to be here, and yeah, we're just being brought some supplies by Stephen Kilby. Thank you very much for the bottle of water.
I'll just give you there are some instructions here with the Michelin Le Mans Cup. If you look at the back of the chair, you'll find the 8-point harness. Strap yourself in. It gets exciting.
Get ready.
Absolutely. 3 qualifying sessions to come. 15 minutes apiece for the 3 different classes. First up will be our GT3 cars, and it is GT3, not LMP3, in the Michelin Le Mans Cup. And what do we have out there? Code rating developments and a new look driver squad for their Aston Martin. Kessel Racing, a pair of beautiful Ferraris for them. Biogas Motorsport from Spain and another Ferrari. AF Corsa with their single car, which is, of course, another Ferrari in title contention. Then it's the Iron Dames in the very pink and white Porsche. Blackthorn from the UK making a guest appearance with their number 91 Aston Martin, and EB Motors with their multicoloured Porsche, the number 95. So it's a mixed bag, 8 cars, and what we see throughout the Michelin Le Mans Cup sessions, particularly with the gentlemen and for that matter lady drivers aboard, is constant improvement, Ollie, as they understand the car that's underneath them, understand what the tyre's doing, the track's doing. And it's a big part of the learning curve. Yeah,
it is, and you know this form of GT3. You know, you're getting into the world of ACO rules racing. You're getting to understand the tracks that you're competing at, and also the sessions are on, and the different times of the day that you may well be on track. And you know, this is here we're just coming up for close to midday here in Portugal on the Algarve, and you know, this is all the cars lined up there, out getting ready. But, you know, it certainly is something that all of these drivers are going to have to sort of figure out and work out how to get the tyres and get the car and get everything up to temperature so that it's right.
All Le Mans Cup cars to enter the pit lane. Cars into the pit lane.
Yeah, so it's just trying to get everything on point so that you can execute that perfect qualifying lap.
Absolutely. Graham Boursier, our race director. You could see from this shot, we brought the big step ladder here. So, great overview from the drone, Graham. Yes, indeed. But a colourful field as always, and a mixed field as well. And obviously, that's say it's GT3 cars first up here. Titles up for grabs, of course, in the Le Mans Cup. And there is the AF Corsa 51 car that leads, I'm pretty certain, the points in our GT3 class.
Yeah, those beautiful 296s. Wonderful looking car.
Yeah, it's rather remarkably, by the way, it is Alessandro Cozzi and Alicia Dono in that 51 car. They lead the points by 16 points, but have not won a race. So they did score maximum points in the first of the 2 Road to Le Mans races. The last time we'll see that, of course.
Attention to all Le Mans Cup teams. The target to start the GT3 qualifying is 11:51, 51:00, so 1 minute delay.
So just a tiny delay for the session to come.
Remind drivers of track limit. Any track limit at T15 will entail the loss of the current and following lap.
So 15 is the huge sweeper of the final turn.
And you can understand why they're actually enforcing that, because everybody can get an advantage by the lap that they're finishing, but then also they could carry extra speed onto the very next lap and take an advantage from that. So you can see why the officials are implementing that in that way.
17 from Kessel Racing, Swiss-based team, of course, with cars in both the Michelin Le Mans Cup and in the European Le Mans Series. And there
very, very nice lunch.
Very nice lunch, there you go. Here's the Iron Dames, and it's going to be Vanina Ricks to take this car out, taking the win last time around for the Iron Dames, and in doing so becoming only the 2nd team in history to take a win in each of the steps on the ACO ladder, the Ligier European Series, the Michelin Le Mans Cup.
Under 1 minute to start GT3 qualifying session, under 1 minute.
ELMS and in the WEC, the other team, by the way, for avoidance of doubt, because I did mess this up at Silverstone when things...
You made a mistake.
I did make a mistake.
No way.
Put that on the list. Is Cool Racing / CLX have done the same with a win in the Leisure European Series, but about to go green in just about 30 seconds time. We'll hear, I'm sure, from Gwen again when the track goes green, and then we'll get to see these fabulous cars.
30 seconds to start the last GT3 qualifying session of the season.
There you go, and he said that with some relief there, I thought, Gwen Boursier.
Well, it is rather busy, isn't it, in Michelin Le Mans Cup? And it's always, I think, as an official, you kind of have to roll your sleeves up a little, don't you, every time the cars go out?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. GT3 qualifying session has started. Pit exit is green.
Yeah, I'd love to see the recruitment ad for the race director for the Michelin Le Mans Cup. Must have calm demeanour, I think would be in there somewhere. Anything can and will happen.
Yes, indeed.
You know, you and I are more used to sitting alongside each other for the Asia Le Mans Series. No less exciting for that one. That's a word that's often underused. But it's been a great season for the Michelin Le Mans Cup. We've had some great racing. I mentioned the big change that will come for 2026. The big change for 25, of course, was coming for the first time with this series to Silverstone. The big change for 2026 will be a major change in the format at Le Mans, where we'll see the cars racing for a single 3-hour race rather than two either 55 minutes or 60-minute races, and that race will happen on the Friday of race week. So that all about learning the lessons of maybe people being a little bit trigger happy and a bit, you know, barrier unfriendly.
Yeah, getting punchy and just trying to get it all won, maybe at turn 1 or lap 1.
Calm down,
yes,
is the answer. So actually, talking to the teams, they love that move. For one thing, it gives them more meaningful track time, and the other thing is, I think it is a good learning opportunity.
Well, it switches the mindset, doesn't it?
It does, and it's a proper endurance race.
Yeah.
In front of what will be a massive crowd on the Friday.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's a good move.
All bar the EB Motors number 95 car are on track at the moment. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on with them. I'll tell you who's aboard the cars. Pascal Houteau is the new name aboard the number 11 Code Racing Aston Martin. Lorenzo Nicenti is in the number 17 Castle car. The sister 33 car is Murat Logadou. I always get that wrong, I apologise. It is Josep Mayola Commodora in the Biogas number 23 car. AF Corsa have got Alessandro Cozzi. Alex Martin is aboard the 91 Blackthorn Aston Martin, and Vanina it will be aboard the 83 Porsche from Iron Dames. And we're going qualifying. This clock is ticking down. Under 13 minutes to go. We're not yet on flying laps for any of these cars.
What always surprises me here, yeah, it's getting warmer, yeah, but it always surprises me here is that there's, 8 cars on the track, and you go, why don't you just space yourself out? Just give yourself some room, so you're not tripping over one another. We just saw the 2 Ferraris there, the AF car and the Kessel car, almost right on top of one another. Just get on the radio. Someone from the team, get on the radio to the driver and just say, look,
ease it off.
Plenty of space. Let's just breathe it a little bit, let the other car get away, and then you can all just do your qualifying laps just with no distractions, nobody holding you up, nobody getting in your way, and you can just deliver what you can deliver.
Absolutely right. Some very different cars and very different drivers here, and what we'll typically see through these sessions is improvements pretty much on every lap as they start to read this circuit. This is a circuit, I know you've been here several times, but this circuit you've raced at, Ollie?
Yeah, I did. I came and tested here a couple of times, and I think I raced here most probably 10 years ago, maybe over 10 years ago. And it might have been the GT1 days. And yeah, it's an amazing circuit, a lot of elevation change. I think it is a favourite with a lot of the drivers. I think track limits is always a bit of a thing here that some guys do get a bit frustrated with. But yeah, I think it is certainly a track that really tests you. I think this last corner here is certainly one that a lot of drivers look forward to and like on the lap. And then it's got a nice, decent straight. Coming down here into turn 1 can be a bit tricky if you're trying to pass, and it can get this pinch point right here at the apex can be a problem. But yeah, it's a fun track to drive around and compete at.
It's a close-up super slow-mo of the Blackthorn Aston Martin. And we'll see this team in a different guise in the opening races of the Asia Le Mans Series, which will be in December this year, from Sepang. Ollie and I, together with David Addison, will be calling those races.
We got him back. David's back.
I know, they couldn't
find anyone else.
No, couldn't find anybody better.
No.
And then beyond that, I suspect we'll see that car rather than the Blackthorn car in action.
Which car? This car or?
Not that car.
Not that car.
A different car.
Right.
Here's Alessandro Cozzi, and this is our championship leading team. They need a good steady race and a good steady start and a good point scoring finish to secure this title. There's a great super slow-mo of the principally blue, but otherwise multicoloured.
With white and yellow and green.
And the Italian colours.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. 1:47.391 is the standing time at the moment, but that will be atomised in just a few moments. Alex Martin will be putting in the first meaningful lap of this session. 2 purple sectors for him, Sector 1 and Sector 2. Pretty equidistant, those 2 sectors, with a slightly longer third sector here, 4.6 kilometre track here in the Algarve. Sun is coming up and over, and it is getting a lot warmer than we saw maybe a couple of hours ago. Crosses the line, 1:47.3 becomes a 1:45.3, and that was initially 3 purple sectors, but quicker in the middle sector, but on a lap that's not going to count because of track limits in Sector 1. It's Vanina Ricks crossed the line for the 33 Castle car, and that car 1.7 seconds back. So that's a mark of where Alex Martin is at this point in the session, with 9 minutes to go, Ollie.
Yeah, it certainly looked like he took a little bit of a risk there at the apex of the final corner, turn 15. Took a lot of curb, and the car, you could see it really moved as he touched that curb on the apex. A lot of vertical movement there. So maybe just wants to look at his line and see if there's a way of getting through there without that extra bit of curbing, as the Ferrari there of AF Course comes through, and it seemed like it took a slightly nice, a little bit less or a little bit wider past the apex there, and it just seemed to be a little bit smoother on the run through.
Second in the order for the Kessel racing car. So, hang on a minute. No, sorry, he did go second, but it was then beaten by Lorenzo Innocenti, who's just a smidge over a second back from Alex Martin's time, which it looks like Alex is about to beat again.
Yeah,
so he's basically just extending the window here.
Half a second up, isn't he?
Yes, indeed. So 8 minutes to go, looking good for the Blackthorn Aston Martin squad at the moment. It's good to see Johnny Adam here coaching this team. He's involved in that Akuri Kos effort for the Asian Le Mans series with Blackthorn.
Yeah.
And
once again, he takes a lot of apex curb there. Maybe Johnny will be having a chat with him after the session, just for being consistent in the race tomorrow.
Goes across the line to 1:44.716 now. So 1.65 seconds clear halfway through the session, and looking tricky to beat at the moment.
Yeah, I'd say he's in a very good spot.
Keeping a look further down the order here, we've not seen the EP Motors Porsche emerge at all, which is disappointing. Looking at Vanina Ricks' form, she's been in amongst the quicker cars this season, but there's time still to come, I think, from Vanina.
Yeah, she had that track limits, didn't she?
And now we've got Aston Martin 1-2, something that you would have been used to throughout your career with Corvette. Pascal Houteau for Code Racing Development. He comes through just under 1.2 seconds off. He's laughing, but he's snarling, I can tell you. So 1:44.7 plays 1:45.9, and best of the rest is now Alessandro Cozzi, because he comes through with a 1:46.149 with under 7 minutes to go.
I'm not going to respond.
I think you probably shouldn't, because, you know, I could switch your mic off. But still time's improving here, Ollie, steadily as they get deeper into this session. Bit of a slide there from Alex Martin. That will not have helped this lap. He was up, albeit only marginally, on his previous best time.
Yeah, the amount of movement in the car laterally is just starting to get greater and greater, and the tyre just starts to lose its bite. You saw as he just came off the apex there, the way that the car sort of drifted through that off of the apex as he's still trying to rotate it. Let's just see how he comes through this final corner.
Great shot.
Yeah, wonderful. The car just moving, and you're right in that zone where the tyres just started to go, but there's still just enough there to to get the lap time out of it.
He has improved
his
his
time.
time.
Again,
yeah,
which I think that's going to be it, though, for him. I'll be very surprised if he managed to get much more out of it.
Yeah, he's 1.35 seconds, and that's night and day in these terms ahead of anybody else. It's a 1:44.555, trying to close the gap, and I think will close the gap here. Is the other Aston Martin. Code Racing Development's Pascal Houteau comes through and is half a second off.
Yeah.
Now, have they played this better? Has he got more left in this car? Well, we're probably going to find out in the next 4.5 kilometres whether or not Code Racing have got more to offer. Still further improvements coming. Kotze, his latest best is good enough only for third at the moment. Track limits beginning to emerge elsewhere, which indicates again, as you were saying, that lateral grip beginning to fall away as the heat comes into the day and the...
You just see the way that the car came off the corner there. It's just moving on the rear as he's on the throttle. You just get less and less of that lateral bite as the tyre just starts to lose that goodness, and it's just been slightly overheated. It's just all of that peak performance has just ebbed away. So, yeah, as you see, Alex is just losing a little bit of time in every sector, and it is quite aggressive on the tyre here. There's lots of that long lateral load, which can really put a lot of energy into the tyre. Quite a lot of understeer there as he's trying to get rotated through turn 14, coming down to that final turn. Let's see how he gets through here. Just, yeah, again, the way that the rear is moving laterally, sort of vertically across that bump, and then the way that the car just gets slightly upset through the rest of the corner. But that's not an improvement there for Alexander Martin. Onto another lap, and maybe that's it, really. Maybe the team should call him in.
Yeah, looking where we might see improvements. Certainly the 33 Kessel car looks as if it might offer some kind of challenge towards maybe the second row in the latter parts of this session.
But it looks like that P2 Pascal in the other Aston Martin just hasn't quite managed to string it all together. He did a personal best in sector 3, but it's not quite enough. Vanina X here is middle sector missing a little, and she's just going to go, I think, P3 here. No.
They lost some more. Again, that lateral grip may be going away through turn 15. Looks spectacular. I'm sure it's an absolute pleasure to drive when they've got the right car underneath you, and absolutely terrifying when you haven't.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things around here, that when the car's good, you can get it down to the apex nicely. Like we're seeing here, it's lovely slow-mo shots, and see the car just rotating nicely, getting down to the apex across that curb. But unless you can place the car exactly where you want it to be, then it's going to be, a frustration, and it is easy to overdrive here. Alex Martin has done a nice job, though. He's coming around for this next lap, and he's only just a tick off in every sector. So it's looking after its tyres pretty well.
This bodes well for the race.
It certainly does, and he's clearly getting a lot out of it. He had a bit of a snap there, wiggle through, and it's just giving up a little bit, but can he improve here? Going to be close now, 2.5 tenths off.
But still, that is pretty consistent stuff, and that is what? That is lap 7 on this set of tyres, 6 of which were real attacking laps, and he's improved, I think, on 5 of them.
Yeah, he has, and he's been very, very close, consistent, and he does bode very well for the race. Can Pascal find an improvement here? I don't think so. I think this is going to be another lap. It's going to be 1.1 off. So again, I think that as the heat has come into the tyres and also onto the track, I think everybody's performance is just slowly ebbing away.
2 minutes to go in the session. No sign of the timing screen lighting up at this stage. So they'll be learning what they can with the time they've got still available here. No lap ever wasted, Ollie, by drivers, and in particular by teams. There's always something to learn.
Yep, without a doubt. And the teams are looking for all of the data they possibly can get, and also for all of these drivers to understand what they can do. And this is really part of the Michelin Le Mans Cup, where they're looking to develop their skills to then are they going to move up into the European Le Mans series and compete in, let's say, the bigger race later on tomorrow.
Well, let's finish off this session with a question about that. I mean, you're here in a variety of roles. Your ambassadorial roles are long and legendary, but you're here in a business sense, looking after some drivers. There really is a melting pot here. There really is a business model here with this ladder. We had Gillian Henry on in the booth for the Ligier European Series a little earlier on. He's been winning part of Ligier European Series, went on to win in Michelin Le Mans Cup, and he's been a force in ELMS and LMP3 as well. With young drivers, and for that matter, established gentleman drivers coming through, there's a lot that can be done to build something here.
Definitely, and you know, we're looking at the Ligier Championship, all of this sort of staircase or this step ladder of racing that LMEM have, or ACO Rules Racing, is fantastic, and you can plug into it at whichever level you're coming in at, and learn, develop, bring your skills on, understand what it takes to become a racing driver in sports cars. You're looking to try and understand, you know, whether it's that particular brand that you're going to be driving, you know, whether it's the Porsche here we're looking at with Vanina Ricks on board, or whether it's with Ferrari in the 296, or the Corvette Z06 GT3R, or
an improvement to me if Vanina Ricks. She goes third. Came out of nowhere, didn't it? So Vanina Ricks.
I knew third was in the tank.
Yeah, it sort of looked it, didn't it? But she's put the lap together, 2 improved sectors from her, 1:45.9. So that puts her third on the second row of the grid, and actually ahead of the title, the championship leaders at the moment. But sorry to interrupted you there. As a bystander, albeit an interested and involved bystander, it does seem as if, as we're walking down this paddock, there's a lot of conversations going on that look as if business is being done.
Yep, and there is. I mean, it is extremely busy here in the Portimão paddock, and you know, you've got, yes, the Michelin Le Mans Cup, you've got ELMS, but then there's plenty of conversations that are going on that could even be for other championships that LMEM are involved with and run and host. And you know, so there is business being done all the time, and whether that's the driver market or the team market or different manufacturers looking for new customers, it's
hold the phone. Pascal Houteau is absolutely on track here. Could he challenge pole position at the very end of this session? And the answer is not quite. Just bleeds away again, those 2/10 that seem to go.
Yeah, it's that final corner that seems to really be a bit of an issue for them. And yeah, but still a strong effort to pull up that lap time out right at the end of the session. Guys there at Blackthorn look pretty happy.
They do indeed. And the final point about this is you talk about the teams, manufacturers involved here, of course, as well, in a variety of ways. But that driver marketplace, and what we're finding increasingly in international sports car racing, here in the European Le Mans Series and its associated championships, Asian Le Mans Series we'll see again with this IMSA, and I know you were across at the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship paddock as well, and the WC. Drivers coming from all over the world to get involved in sports car racing.
I mean, whether you're looking at the drivers who are coming out of something like, say, British touring cars, or the Stock Car Championship in Brazil, or supercars in Australia, you know, all of those drivers are looking at, okay, how can I get myself in a GT car or a P3 car or a P2 car? It seems that multi-class racing, and particularly ACO rules racing, is really at a high right now, and really healthy and thriving.
So third on the grid in this GT3 class is the number 83 Iron Dames Porsche in the hands of Vanina Ricks, and then second, this new look effort with Code Racing Development and Pascal Houteau putting that car on the front row. But it was Alex Martin in the Blackthorn number 91 Aston Martin that really took that session by the throat and did not let it go. Cracking stuff from the returning Blackthorn team as they start to set up for their winter program in the Asian Le Mans Series, and I hope beyond, because the car looks absolutely stunning. Great stuff, lots more to come, remember, 2 more qualifying sessions, 2 lots of LMP3 cars, LMP3 Pro-Am, and then following that, the LMP3 cars. The only difference there is the makeup, the driver makeup. Let's go down, though, first to Steph Wentworth in the pit lane. She's with our pole-setting guy, Alex Martin, from the Blackthorn Aston Martin squad.
I am joined now by our pole sitter, Alex Martin, driver of the number 91 Blackthorn. Congratulations, a very dominant session from you, and you look totally in control.
Thank you. I enjoyed it out there. I didn't know where I was or what I was doing, so we had no radio. The radio stopped working, so I just kept going till they waved a board at me to tell me to come in.
So fantastic. Really, there's a lot of pace in the car this weekend. What are your expectations for the race, which will be tomorrow?
Well, to win.
Short and simple. Do you think you'll be able to maintain that spot at the front of the grid?
Oh yeah, when the grip goes away, I think the advantage will increase.
All right, well, best of luck tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Well, he seems very confident, doesn't he? And
Well,
that would explain the reason why also he was just going round lap after lap. And
well, there you go. There's the result. It's a 1:44.555 from Alex Martin to take pole position here at Portimão for Blackthorn, the number 91 Aston Martin. And it will be an all Aston Martin front row in GT3 with Code Racing Developments number 11 Vantage GT3 just under 4/10 back. Ein Dames, the number 83 Porsche, will be on the second row after that effort from Nina Ricks. And then our championship leading 51 AF Corsa car, the first of the Ferraris on the grid, completes row 2. That's GT3. Next up is LMP3 Pro Am, and 17 cars set to come for that session. Now, I'm just looking down the order and could not see. Car missing, I think. We'll have a look at that a little bit later. A couple of Ducanes, a fair number of Ligiers in the LMP3 Pro Am order. So 17 cars to come. A few new names as well aboard that. This was a class that caused real dramas at Silverstone post-race, with Gail Julien, are still, until tomorrow, reigning ELMS LMP3 champion, getting a guest drive with High Class Racing. He's back again and renewing that guest drive status with High Class Racing in the 49 car, taking the car to the win with Thomas Kiefer, and then in a bit of a traffic jam to get to Parc Fermé, creeping through pit lane, clutch failed, couldn't get to Parc Fermé, disqualified. And poor old Gail Julien, having run a faultless race, lost it all. But wanted to mention, because we didn't get much chance to do it at Silverstone, that meant that to that point, the unluckiest man of the year, Terence Woodward, who's had all the pace and great racecraft, but absolutely no luck at all, did then look into that win. So well done to him and to James Winslow, who took the win, but terribly, terribly hard luck to Gail Julien, who is here again this weekend, and with a new returning co-driver, Odin Gudmundsson, our Team Tour Icelandic Viking, the man with a volcano in his back garden, is back.
Is that true?
It's absolutely true.
Yeah, you've said that before.
It's completely true. He showed me pictures. Long lens, but true. Got a big garden.
I was going to say.
Well, you would have got a volcano at the bottom. Yeah, I think if you had a volcano at the bottom of the garden, you'd probably build a new house a bit further away, wouldn't you? But to the pit's exit.
Life's quite simple, isn't it?
It is really.
In your head.
In my head,
yes.
Just yes. Aside from the husky, but that's another story. But to the pit exit,
volcano, unbelievable.
Volcano in the garden. You should ask him to show you the pictures.
I will.
It's spectacular.
Yeah.
A lovely guy. He's been off this year doing a part season in GT racing and a Porsche, but it's great to have him back. Won the final race of last season with the Team Tour car on its final appearance in the Michelin Le Mans Cup with Colin Noble. Colin now on a desk driving duty in LMP3. We'll see that car later. But a mixed bag here. Racing Spirit Le Mans, P4 Racing, 23 events racing, CD Sport into Europol competition. They're just the first few cars in this. Teams making their way into prototype racing, and teams developing a ladder in prototype racing, as you were talking about a little earlier, Ollie. All sorts of ways in which the task of getting on this grid is being addressed.
Yeah, and there's lots and lots of teams here who are looking to bring that driver in and then see if they can bring them through from P3.
30 seconds to start an LMP3 Pro Am qualifying session. 30 seconds.
And it's...
yeah, then take them on into P2 or whatever else they're running.
Remind drivers of track limits. Any track limit at T15 will entail the loss of the current and following lap.
And there you go. That's exactly the point you were making earlier,
10,
Ollie. They're not
9,
going to mess about with people
8,
on track limits on that
7,
final turn.
Definitely
6,
not.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, LMP3 Pro qualifying session has started. Pit exit is now open.
So in this class we have 4 squads, not teams, squads in with a chance of taking the title still in LMP3 Pro-Am. I say that because the top 2 in the championship are the 2 Rinaldi cars, the 71 and the 66. Ahead of the 98 Motorsport 98 car, that's the bright orange Ligier with the grey flanks on the car, and the 84 A&S Motorsport car, which is the one that, as always in these things, you always have to say is somewhat mathematical. But either way, keep an eye out for the 84 car, because if that one scores pole, it does help them stay in the game. There is a 71 car, the car with the Carrera branding on the side for Stefan Aust. That car shared with Felipe Fernandez-Laza, who was telling me delighted to be downgraded to silver in the latest FIA rankings. You've got that coming at some point, mate, when you hit probably about 73. So you're gold nowadays?
I am gold, yes.
In so many ways.
Yeah. Old.
But the 71 Rinaldi race.
I've missed working with you, Graham. It's amazing.
It's 8 points difference between that car and the sister 66 car. That was just a quick look at the 88. That's one of the Ducanes, the RSGP car of Romano Ricci, a driver whose career includes a season in the FI World Endurance Championships, LMP2 with Labra in a Ligier back in the day, another Ligier back in the day. And if you spot the dorsal fin on that car, it is adorned with the logo for Juliette's Got a Gun. Juliette's Got a Gun, which I gather is a fragrance because Romano is a parfumier.
Ooh. Wow.
Yep. So if you've got a wife or girlfriend called Juliette, let's hope she hasn't got a gun. But there you go. That's something you can buy maybe for
wondered where on earth you were going with
the next significant. Here is the fourth of our points sitting cars, the 84 car. It's somewhat middle of the decade LMP1 style livery and the traditional red, black and white, at the point at which all 3 manufacturers lost any sense of imagination on the livery front. And all 3 turned up with red, black and white cars. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, awesome stuff.
62 car, and this is a team you'll be familiar with, Ollie. This is our championship winning squad from the Asia Le Mans Series in LMP3 for Breton Racing,
yeah,
in the Czech Republic.
Ben Stone on board.
Yeah, they've had a somewhat topsy-turvy season in Europe this year, learning as they go. The 62 car at the moment, indeed, sits bottom of the points. They've had loads of luck, all of it really bad. But Ben Stone certainly capable of making an impact in this session.
Looks like he's getting on with it pretty early in the session. The way the car's moving around, he's using plenty of road and just trying to get everything switched on. Doesn't look like it's quite there yet.
Worth saying, by the way, Sunday here, so all the racing tomorrow. So if you are looking to tune in for...
Is it tomorrow?
It's the racing is tomorrow. So all the racing is tomorrow for the Michelin Le Mans Cup and the European Le Mans Series. We have one more race to come later this afternoon, which is race 2 for the Ligier European Series. Don't miss that, because this morning's race was a corker and it threw all sorts of things in the championship up in the air. We'll bring you some times when this session settles in. And then on Sunday, we have the ELMS and Michelin Le Mans Cup rookie test. And looking here at the number 77 car, that is the Wright Engineering car of Hurst Filpermeyer, and indeed, we're going to see Hurst and Hurst Felix Filpermeyer, I think, in the Asia Le Mans Series in a P2 car.
I think they are, yes.
All sorts of fun and games coming.
Isn't that with Proton?
With Proton.
Yeah.
All sorts of fun and games coming in the rookie test, including what I'm absolutely certain will be the oldest driver to have driven a P2 car.
It's not me.
No, if you were, you probably would just about get there.
Okay.
Don Bastien, who is the oldest ever starter at Le Mans, I think 74 years old. Don is now 79.
Oh, gee.
He's going to hit 80 years old on the 25th of November, and he will be circulating in a Proton P2 Orica on Sunday here. We've got a P3 car from Virage for that test for the Alkabaisi family. Khaled and both of his daughters will test here. In addition to which, all sorts of names and faces from the Ligier European Series, from the Michelin Le Mans Cup. We start to learn about who's talking to who for 2026. Keep an eye on your favoured news outlet, and that's just so you're aware of what your favourite news outlet is. It is Daily Sports Car. I should be hearing from Stephen Kilby later. The only ones here. So, Eldon Gudmundsson coming through now. On
a very quick lap, goes P1.
Well, Horst Felbermayr, in your day, was Horst Felbermayr Jr., of course. Senior, his father, the late and lamented Horst Felbermayr Senior, was a big part of that. And now Horst's showing with another generation. Horst Felix Felbermayr will be the other driver aboard this car for the race. But it's good to see him back with the iconic colours that come with Felbermayr. Long time collaborators with the Reed family, Felbermayr Proton, still firm family friends. 1:41.550. This is a bit of a moment for the 77.
Yeah.
The apex isn't over there.
No, it's a little bit late on the brakes there, it's gone in a bit too deep.
Eldon Gudmundsson, by the way, came by just 46 thousandths of a second off the pace of Horst Felbermayr, and is a lot quicker. In fact, goes purple in sector 1 this time around. So 1:41.550, 8.5 minutes to go. Reiter, high class, then Rinaldi, the championship leading car Stefan Aust, who will be looking to be as close to the front of this grid, this class grid, remember, as he can, because there will be a lot of other P3 cars ahead of this group in the LMP3 class we've still got to come. Breton Racing, and as we talk about that, 84, we said about the 84 car, potentially loving that potential point coming, and they go to the top of the timing scoring screens, and by a distance, by 0.6 of a second. Briefly, Ben Stone in the 62 car, we mentioned them as being bottom of the points. He fancies getting their first point of the season, maybe here in qualifying. He sits second, a tenth and a bit back. So this session beginning to light up. Terence Woodward gets in amongst it. Stefan Aust gets in amongst it. Eldon Gudmundsson, though, goes to the top and is the first to actually have a meaningful gap. Quarter of a second to the good for the Viking. Eldon Gudmundsson, 49 car, high-class racing. Provisional pole at the halfway mark of this session. A 1:40.747, but pretty much everything below that on that timing screen, Ollie Gavin, is green.
Yeah, certainly everybody's getting their tyre in and getting everything switched on, and it's just taken a little bit of time, but that's pretty normal with P3 cars and the tyre that they run on, the Michelin that they run on here. And you know, it's now good to sort of see that it's so close and there's really not much in it. There's could be 6, 7 cars that are really in the hunt here for pole.
Yes, indeed. So 7 minutes to go. Gudmundsson lifting off a little bit here. There's a couple of cars out there right now that are tiny amounts up on that schedule. So this could change again. Romano Ricci goes to the top of timing and scoring, 77 thousandths off. Julien Lemoine is on a quick lap. He goes to the top by 96 thousandths of a second. The 84 car want that point, no doubt about it. Also up marginally, Ben Stone in the Breton Racing car. He wants that point. Doesn't quite get it at the line. He finishes that lap in 3rd place. But
only a 10th off, isn't he?
Yeah, we've got
turned it in sharply there, lost the rear as he went in. I think that might put the end to this lap. He's kept it on track though. Let's see. It's
4 cars as Eldon Gudmundsson goes to the top again, separated by 0.2 of a second. It's a 1:40.605, 46 thousandths of a second, which I think was his gap the last time, rather remarkably. But others still improving. Julien Lemoine is improving, Ben Stone is improving, Romano Ricci is improving.
Yeah, they were all pressing on here. You can see the black lines being laid down as they're coming off the corners, as they're turning it into turn 1 there. As it goes into the compression, the front of the car really hooks up and they just lose it. Nearly every single car skating and dancing as it goes through turn 1. Great to see these guys have got these cars absolutely on fire.
Well, I can tell you, Eldon Gudmundsson's not forgotten how to drive an LMP3 car, and by the look of it, he's not forgotten how to win either. Said he took the win in the race overall in this fixture last year. his final race with Team Tour in LMP3, but he's back with High Class Racing and piling on the pressure. But can he resist Julien Lemoine, Romano Ricci, Ben Stone? Who's next for a bit of a go at this?
Ricci doesn't improve, but I mean there are. Oh no, excuse me.
Julien Lemoine's gone to the top.
We just had a delay in the timing screens there.
By 29 thousandths of a second. The 84, a car in mathematical reach of the title, looking to close the gap by a single point. He's done all he can at the moment to try to do that. It was that timing screen just resetting against the new top time. Woodward goes to the top from seemingly nowhere, and that's with a purple third sector. That's fairly rare at this stage of proceedings. So he's looked after the tyre. The 28 car from 23 events tops the times by 0.147 of a second, 4 minutes to go. It's not really, though, Ollie, at this stage about how long there is to go, but what life is left in the tyres for these cars.
Yeah, it certainly looked like they've been using the tyre aggressively and really, you know, getting it all, laying it all out there on the track. And it seems like maybe a couple of guys are just easing off, giving the tyre a bit of a breather, and seeing if they can get another lap out of it. They'll all have one more run, I think, here.
Yeah.
Terence is pressing on.
Terence is really pushing on. He's a quarter of a second up on his provisional pole schedule after the first sector. Top 9 cars within 9/10 of a second as things stand at the moment. Then a bit of a gap for another group. Have they got more to come? Some of those guys will be the ones just learning their way this season.
Is Terence going to get a little bit held up here by the Felbermeyer car? Just far enough in front, but it could be these last couple of corners, and it would hurt his run through the final turn at turn 15 if yeah, he is going to catch him. This could hurt Terence's run to a possible improvement. Oh, he's been held up there as he's gone through 14, and yeah, a little bit of indecision there. Horse just sort of trying to let him by, but Terence didn't read it. And now he's going to have to start again. The car rotates as it goes in through that final corner. Nicely past the apex there, and a decent run off, but I don't think this is going to be an improvement.
No, he's 1.3 seconds off, so that was the deciding factor, but he's got a quick car underneath him still. Has he still got the grip? Looking a bit further down, Romano Ricci's not done here, you know. Neither is Julien Lemoine. They're both up provisionally after sector 1 on Terence Woodward's provisional pole time, but they've got the hard work to do.
Yeah, they do have the hard work to do, but I think that's a testament to this Michelin tyre that you can really give it some grief and really push it to its limit, but then you just breathe it a little and it'll come back to life again, and you can press again for another qualifying lap. And I think that's what a lot of these chaps are doing.
This session is not done. 2 minutes to go. We have multiple cars on schedules to improve what they're doing and potentially to challenge the pole. This isn't going to help Romano Ricci. He's another man in traffic. He's got a quick car underneath him in that Duquesne. He keeps setting really quick sector times, has not yet put together an ultimately decisive full lap. Here he comes.
Yeah, that's one of the problems that you have at this point in the session, is that you're looking for that lap, looking for it to be clean. You can execute some of the sectors, but then you come across a slower car that's looking to just give itself some room, or it's just breathing on the tyres, just giving them a little bit of a rest before they run again. And that's the complication and some of the pitfalls of qualifying sessions that are so short, and there's so many cars on track together. You've just got to try and pick your point.
Is Ben Stone coming across? What can he do? The answer is there is an improvement there. He moves up to 4th. He's 0.167 of a second off Terence Woodward's time, but
top 5, look at that, all within, and not inside 2/10.
Talk about consistency. Terence Woodward's just completed his latest lap with a minute to go, 140.430. His pole setting lap, a provisional pole setting lap, is a 140.429, 1/1000th of a second apart.
Yeah, it's impressive, isn't it?
That is ludicrous, isn't it? So it's still drivers out there with potential to move up this order. 37 seconds to go for pretty much all of the major contenders. It's this lap and no more. The ones to watch, Julien Lemoine, without a doubt. Ben Stone still pushing on hard. And who's that there? That is Jose Fernandez Cortella in the Inter-Europol 34 car.
Terence is out of it. Track limits at turn 1 in sector 1.
That's
so
him done.
That'll be him done.
So he's effectively a sitting duck now for anybody that's still got performance in the car underneath them. Ben Stone,
he's just
so close, but
9,000ths of a second off at the moment. Can he find that last little bit? I don't think he can. He's got track limits.
Romano Ricci, this will be his last opportunity to improve. Can he do it? He finishes the lap with an improvement, but does not move up the order. He will do no better than 7th at this stage. Already on, several cars already on pit lane, including Stefan Aust, our championship leader. What can Michelin Le Mans do? The answer is nothing. That is not going to be the avenue where they close the gap. What about Ben Stone? Ben Stone is track limits. He will not score that evasive point for Breton Racing. I think this is looking like it is Terence Woodward on the back of that win at Silverstone will back it up with pole position here at Portimão.
The car did look good and he was right in the zone there. Nice session for him, executed and backed it up, you know, first quickest lap and then the second quickest lap, only 1,000th apart. It's
a strange thing, and after you know, bumping into Terence 2 or 3 times this season, and his head's been down because the luck's not been coming, all of a sudden the luck came his way. Spotted him walking down pit lane, beaming earlier. It's really strange how just one result, one bit of luck going the other way, could completely affect your mindset.
Absolutely, and that's, you know, racing drivers' sort of psychology and confidence. Confidence is so much of it.
There's the finish for LMP3 Pro-Am. Remember, one more session to come with the LMP3 class proper. 140.429 for Terence Woodward and the 23 Events Racing team. And that topped an order that saw the top 9 cars within a single second. ANS Motorsports 84 car, title contenders second. Rinaldi Racing, our title leading car, our championship leading car, third. The bottom car in the order in the mix for the pole position points, the 62 Breton Racing car fourth. High class racing with this other guesting crew in Auden Gudmundsson, who led that session at times, 5th fastest. So that sets things up for tomorrow's race. Remember, tomorrow morning's race, live and free as always, and we hope by then with Johnny Palmer back at the microphone. If you're listening in back at the hotel, Johnny, I hope you're feeling a bit better. We're missing you here. I'm stuck in a booth with Ollie Gavin. It couldn't get much worse. 71.
Oh, no, it could.
Rinaldi Racing. Looking to put another point on the board, didn't quite get there. There is our ANS Motorsport car, Michelin Le Mans, in the mix throughout that session, but did not manage to close the gap by the single point that comes the way with qualifying. But there are our LMP3 Pro-Am pole sitters, and that was a great session from Terence Woodward.
Yeah, great stuff. Really, the car looked alive and really on point, and Terence got the most out of it.
Just noticed he's got a different teammate this weekend. We'll catch up with that a little later. There is the grid order. These cars will be starting ahead of the GT3 cars we've already seen, but you're about to see the LMP3 pace turned up a notch or two with the drivers, silver and gold drivers for the LMP3 class. New class split this season. It's worked, I think, pretty well. There are all 17 of our LMP3 Pro-Am cars having completed that session safely. Michael Doppelmayr propping up the order in the 64M racing car. Share that car with someone you used to racing against back in the day. Pierre Caffa bought that car.
Oh, yeah,
the
Pierre.
65 car.
Yeah.
A long-time Audi factory driver.
Yes, he was always fun to compete against. Very.
Doesn't look any different, damn him.
No, he doesn't. He was always a great competitor and somebody always looking for that little bit of edge and advantage. And yeah, he did. He had a fantastic career in competing for Audi and many other manufacturers.
Drove me round the Audi test track at their the Audi Motorsport facility in Freiburg in a Audi R8 race road car, but track prepared in the pitch darkness.
What, were the lights off or?
Barely, but quite an astonishing experience, particularly when you're coming around fully lit. A flat left-hander which says, "I must lift here, sometimes there are rabbits."
Good times.
Good stuff. About to go live then for the final qualifying session of the Michelin Le Mans Cup season in 2025, and as is their right, it will go to the 18 LMP3 cars that will be fielded for the top class here in the Michelin Le Mans Cup. A range again here. This is the only class, I think I'm right, yes it is, that has all 4 of the available LMP3 chassis options in the same competition. So it is a Ginetta from DK Engineering. It's a couple of the Ades chassis from Nielsen Racing. We've got, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4 Ducanes, which by my calculations means 11 of the numerically dominant Ligiers, but they've not all their own way this year. We've seen all sorts of fun and games, including RSGP, who've taken the title already in the Michelin Le Mans Cup for the teams. What can they do in qualifying here? There's others that are hungry for a little bit more.
It's the 85 champion.
Absolutely, and taking the title away from CLX Motorsport, Cool Racing as was. Their 87 car sits second, and we'll be looking to close that points gap to make themselves feel as if they've had the season they hoped for. This final race of the season. 2-hour race, remember, and that will be tomorrow morning, Saturday, here at Portimão, with the European Le Mans Series into dusk on Saturday evening. Gives the opportunity for the whole paddock to set up both for the rookie test on Sunday and the end of season festivities to award the trophies, pat the backs, and frankly to reward the crews in the paddock for a season well contested. It's always a great event when everybody gets the opportunity to just let their hair down. Those of us that have still got hair.
I was going to say.
Yeah, maybe a bit of dubbing to the ones who haven't. But CD Sport, another of our Duquesne teams, they've not really had the season they were hoping for either. The first year with this Duquesne chassis, the best of their 2 cars, placed at the moment 10th in the order. But it's been a season where the 85 R-Race GP car, it's 2 wins, 1 second place with first place points, because it was an LMS car that took the first place and their first race at Le Mans, and a second place there. Consistent performance at the end of this season. They didn't have the best of starts, RSGP, but once it got going, boy, did they take every opportunity. It's one of the 2 Nielsen Ades cars I can see at pit exit, with the other car tucked in behind. A couple of teams there with a bit of a formation start. Team Virage closest to us with the mustard yellow, orange and black, and then it is the Forestier Racing squad, the VSF squad, I believe, by VPS. That is the Mathieu Vassilière part-owned team.
Right.
There is the CD Sport car. Another team with championship-winning form in the Asia Le Mans Series. Together.
Yeah.
Taking a 1-2 as other efforts melted around them, in some cases literally. But in the fight, but not where they wanted to be this season, I feel. I'm sure they will gather themselves and be back for more in 2026. We'll be learning over the weekend much more about some of those intentions. That's the unmistakable form of the Ginetta. Attractive looking car, I think, from DK Engineering, and one of your old team managers, Kendi, looking after that car. Yeah,
Kendi and I, we worked together, cool. Must have been 15 years ago.
Good grief.
Yeah, I am that old. Yeah, it was good to do, great fun, great team. Kendi's always been a huge, passionate team owner, and runs a great operation, small, compact, but...
that was a Corvette GT1.
Yes, it was a Corvette GT1.
Not very unpredictable of you.
I thought I'd give it,
give it a go.
Yeah, why not? That was they helped us out quite a lot, actually, in a number of years when we wanted to do a little bit of tyre testing here in Europe, and they would let us use their car, and so we did a number of tyre tests at Mugello and Misano and bits and pieces with Michelin. And all those days were a lot of fun, really enjoyable.
Yeah, I mean, it's the camaraderie in the pits.
30 seconds to start the session, 30 seconds.
Lasts through those decades, doesn't it? And it's always good to see walking down a paddock in the Asia Le Mans Series with you, and a lot of people
of track
seeing
limits,
for the first time in years because their paths haven't crossed.
And pit exit white line.
and almost all of them
qualifying session will
asking
start.
if you can repay that
10,
favour.
9,
yeah, usually chasing
8,
me for money.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pit exit is now green. LMP3 qualifying session has started.
Ryan Bailey from the LMEM event technical team, acting at pit marshal at pit exit. Away we go for the final 15 minutes of qualifying for the Michelin Le Mans Cup in 2025. It's been a good season. Already looking for the space.
Yes, they are. And,
put it gently that way.
And it just seems that the intensity's just gone up a notch here with this qualifying session, and everybody heading out and looking for that spot, that space, elbows out, immediately out of the pit lane, and looking for that spot. The 7 and the 26, is it? They're competing all the way down into, what is it, turn 5.
Yeah. Again, keep an eye on some of these drivers. Some very young and very able drivers, and some more established talents. We'll tell you who's out in those cars in just a few moments. We'll start now. It's Freddie Tomlinson aboard the DK Engineering Ginetta, and it's obviously Ginetta, the family business, and Freddie on the back of a weekend last weekend with 2 podiums at Barcelona, I want to say, in the debut in GT2 of the brand new Ginetta GT2, sharing with his dad, discussing on the plane on the way over at some point. I mean, bit Lawrence, Le Mans winning maybe a bit of a boat anchor for Freddie, I'm afraid. But it needs to move on forward now. We're getting a really rude note from Lawrence any moment now. Well done, sir, by the way. Genuinely great result on the debut for any new car in a series and a Formula GT2, which will do well for a bit of the pixie dust from Ginetta, as indeed LMP3 was in the early days and GT4 was in the early days. It's Henry Cubides Alate in the first of the 2 Nielsen Ades. A&S Motorsports Marcus Pommer is in their 6 Ligier. Tom Fleming in the number 7 Nielsen car. Tom recognised by LMEM as being one of the selected drivers for the WEC rookie test. He'll be driving the championship winning LMGT3 car in Bahrain.
Yeah.
It'll be. Move on from that in a minute. Theo Mercouris, Team Virage's number 16 Ligier. Theo coming from success in the Ligier European Series last year. Max Meyer, High Class Racing in their number 20 car, another Ligier. 25 Reiter Engineering car, Nicholas Bourne. Christian Brooks in the Breton Racing 26, SD Racing's first car there, number 29 with Louis Rousset. Thomas Imborg in that number 30 CD Sport Duquesne. 23 Events Racing put in Matteo Quintarelli. He's another driver that's got exciting plans on Sunday for the rookie test. It's the number 50 car. Gebhardt Motorsport, their number 70 car, in the hands of Oscar Tunyu. That is a Duquesne. Michael Pitamba in Team Virage's 74 Ligier. Then 2 Duquesnes, Adrien David, our championship winner in the 85 for RSGP, and the sister 86 car, Edgar Pierre, aboard that car. And then a trio of Ligiers, 2 of which are from CLX Motorsport. Pierre Alexandre Provost in the number 87 car. That car sits second in the points. For SDA Racing by VPS's second car, the 92 car, Charles Roussin in their Ligier. And the 97 car completes this field with Cedric Ultramar, another graduate of the Ligier European Series in the 97 from CLX Motorsport. We're starting to get the first times through, albeit not yet competitive times. This LMP3 class sort of came towards the end of your career, Ollie.
I think it was LMPC before. In
the US.
Yes, it was.
It was.
Yeah.
But in Europe from 2015, first title winner, Charlie Robertson and Sir Chris Hoy. And if you're listening and watching, Chris, great to be part of the fundraising effort that you're pushing in and around the Silverstone event. £2.4 million raised by Chris for cancer support.
That's wonderful.
Which says everything you need to know about the man.
Yeah, it's truly extraordinary. What a gentleman.
Absolutely.
Sir Chris Hoy.
So it was 400 people from the paddock, including some fans, did the track walk/run at Silverstone, contributing to that effort. And it would be good to see Chris back in this paddock at some point. It's 2015, so here we are in 2025, a decade on. And this is the third generation of LMP3 car now, and they are transformed from where this all began. And it's fair to say that after Ginetta kick-started the formula, the Nicolay family and their Ligier concern, a big wobble there for the 25.
Yeah, it was.
Got hold of it and ran with it. Nicholas Bourne, by the way, tops the times with a 1:39.404 just completed as I look at the timing screen. Cedric Altramar, 1.3, 1.4 seconds off. That's one of the Adès. Oscar Tunyo goes to the top by 27 thousandths of a second in the Gebhardt Motorsport in the 70 car. And now we start to see times rolling in. Marcus Pommer goes third in the number 6 A&S Motorsport car. And now we're going to start to see lots of movements up and down. Watch for where that 85 car from RSGP. They'll want to finish their season on a high. Nielsen Racing have been wrestling the Adès programme this year. They'll want to see some improvement in form from their two cars. Oscar Tunyo still leads the session. Here he is in the number 70 Duquesne. Bettered though by the first of the Forestier Racing by VPS cars, 29 car Louis Rousset, 1:39.291, just a smidge under a tenth quicker now to claim provisional pole. But it's a long way to go yet, and there are other cars lighting up the timing screen.
Yeah, there's plenty of purple sectors still being popped in. People are improving by, looks like half a second or so, even a second quicker.
The one that I think we need to watch is the one we are watching now. It's the 85 car, our champions for this year. Adrian David has been up and purple in both the first two sectors here. This is his first shot at it, and to the top he goes by over a second. It's a 1:38.160. This team, these drivers have got hold of this car this season and have made it pay. The first year of effectively the reset, Ollie, with this turbo Toyota power.
Yeah.
And it has been one of those moments where maybe the established order gets shaken up a little bit. Maybe some of the kind of this setup advantage they've had is reset a bit. And massive kudos to RSGP in the way they've approached it.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, whenever something like that happens, when you get a big change in the way that the car is calibrated and set up, you know, an engine change like that. Oh, 30's off.
That's CD Sport.
Yeah, in the gravel there, just nosed it in.
Well, I think he can escape the gravel because his rear wheels are on the hard standing.
Yeah.
Red flag.
There you go. And I think maybe they've seen something we did. Oh, wow.
Lost it, spun, and he's just going to, I think, just drift into, put his nose there in the gravel.
Okay, all cars may go straight to pit exit.
So that's Gwen Borsier effectively signalling he thinks that's going to be a quick snatch and go.
How can you not get reverse?
Don't know. Maybe he's just fed back.
Let's speed up the process. Car 30 has rejoined. All cars to come back to the pits. You may pick up the pace. Come back to the pits as quick as possible. No overtake.
Yeah, that car in that spot, it was dangerous. I can see why the red flagged it. But he couldn't. He couldn't find reverse, so he went forward and he went through the gravel.
Boot it. Not a lot of finesse involved there.
No. I know finding reverse can be a bit of an issue in the race car, and when you're flustered and you've just spun, your mind's a bit garbled and you're like trying to find the right way to get reverse. And team managers and crew chiefs often would say, you know, we need to test this.
Yes.
You know, we actually need the drivers to understand how to get the car in reverse. And that was just another example there of him being able to find that and then it would have stopped the red flag and all of this. But you know,
the bad news for Thomas Imberg is
all cars to pick up the pace. Car 3 pick up the pace. 6 pick up the pace.
Out a red flag.
Yeah, and
may well not play any further part in this session. So the decision from race controllers potentially directly affected his ability beyond that point. But them's the rules. We've gone through halfway in this session. The clock has stopped, by the way. 7 minutes and 22 seconds remaining. It is Adrian David at the top of the timing and scoring by, 4 tenths now from Oscar Tunyo. So that gap has closed down a little. Nicholas Bourne sits third. And the fourth car, and the only other car within a second, is the High Class Racing number 20 car, albeit fifth quickest is 1.001 seconds back. That is Matteo Gentarelli in the number 50-23 events racing car.
The frustration for a lot of these drivers would be that they would have been in a rhythm and they would have got everything just going nicely, and then you come in, everything cools, you park it up in the pit lane, and you just wait for the green again. But often the car will feel different when you go out now, and it's just how you get everything going, and can you rediscover that same level of performance. And that's always, let's say, you've got to keep your frustration under control.
Your car is not allowed to rejoin the session.
There
Not allowed to rejoin the session.
Okay, so that car will be parked for the remaining 7 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock. So as soon as the last car comes in, I think we're going to see this session go back to green.
Session will resume on a short call.
Or very soon afterwards. Gwyn is listening to us, he's just playing with us, just toying with us. I think that's what it is.
All he doesn't actually listen to you.
He tries not to.
Yeah.
I mean, even,
a lot of us are like
even in the conversation, let alone the
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Session has resumed. Session has resumed.
I've explained. We talked about practicing procedures a little earlier. Gwen needed to practice counting backwards from 10. That's what that was all about. So he wouldn't have just sent it green. He needed to do what I like to call the Eduardo Freitas count. It's like Sesame Street, the count. You know, it's that. That's what that is.
Bring it down to your level.
It's an icon.
Sesame Street.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back to green flag running. 7 minutes to go in the session. Can anybody do something about Adrian David? I think the answer is yes, they can. It remains to be seen just how quickly they get these cars back up to speed, back up to temp, whether or not there's
a couple of laps, I would say.
Yeah, and then where are you? Because of course the other big problem here is the cars are all close together again.
Yeah, they are. So you've got to be smart, and some of the teams are letting the cars out just with a little bit of a delay and looking for that gap on the track. And then they'll be also talking to their teams, because they have what we have in the booth here, and you've got this nice little map, and you can see where all the cars are on the track, and those teams need to be using that map to put their driver in the right spot so he has a nice clean run. And right now they're all congested together in sector 1 and 2, and we would be smart just to let the cars just spread out a little bit more. Love this shot that we're seeing now, though. Oh, it's amazing with the drone.
It's either that or someone's the process of the most almighty off. It is a great drone shot.
Yeah, brilliant.
There's another part, isn't it? The technology that's been brought to motorsport just adds literally dimensions to it.
Yeah, it does. It's fantastic.
So, if you get a chance, by the way, you should spend some time with the drone pilots. They're very cool guys, and they're fully well aware, by the way, that there has to be this reward here, but they need to balance that with the rest of what they're doing, and their safety processes are epic.
Oh, really?
Epic.
It's quite the skill.
It is. 74 car there from Team Farage.
Very tight exit as it came off that corner. It seems to be the preferred line for a lot of these LMP3 cars, but it does seem to be really putting a lot of energy into those rear tyres. But let's see how we get everything going again here. Maybe take a lap or two just for everybody to start getting everything back in the window.
It's what do you do, really, isn't it? You put a bit of speed in and get your space. You just hold back a bit, and what do?
Well, you've got to be working with the team on where to place the car, and then building the energy and the preparation before you start your qualifying lap. And is it going to take 1? Is it going to take 2? But there will definitely be a routine that you go through, and that will be very sort of data-led and talked about in the briefings beforehand.
I guess it's a double-edged sword here, isn't it? You've got the teams that did well in that first half of this session that will want to retain that, but you've also got teams that didn't quite come together.
Yeah.
You've got effectively a second, albeit brief, cherry.
Yeah. Well, as an engineer now, you'll be sitting there thinking, I hope that the driver's been listening and remembering what we talked about in the preparation for the car for qualifying.
If you pause though, just listen. In the background through our triple glazed windows, you'll hear 15 race engineers laughing when you say the words driver and listen in the same phrase.
I know, as I was saying, I was thinking, yeah, no, not a chance. Yeah, there we go. But You know, they can but try. We're seeing some improvements in some sectors, no purple sectors, but some improvements in some. So we're going to see some people improving, but no purple sectors right now. Maybe that's coming for the next lap. I think we're going to get a couple more laps here. Number 50 coming through that final turn, and every car is struggling a little bit with that bump right at the apex, but it's affecting the cars too badly. Goes to P4.
Indeed, Adrian David still leads the session. No massive improvements coming, but apart from that P4 from Matteo Cantarelli, I expect him to be at the sharp end of this grid.
Yeah, he did put a personal best. Oh, it was, sorry, not personal best. It was outright best in sector 3. So yes, they're getting everything going again.
We saw again. I feel we talk about the Asian Le Mans series a lot, but why not? Matteo Cantarelli, bit of a star in that the early part of last season, but didn't complete the season. Had a chance to actually win the title.
Yeah, he did.
But he was a proper standout in LMP3 last time around.
Yeah, we're going to have to see here. It's like there's not quite the pace in the cars right now. There's maybe we're looking. Oh, Cantarelli is looking like he could improve again.
Theo Mercouris as well. He's on quite a much better lap. Can he do better? It's a bit of a move up the order from Charles Roussin. No, apologies, it was Pierre-Alexandre Provost who moved up from 18th to 6th. That's a great example of one of those teams that didn't come together in the first half.
Yeah.
And they've sort of reset, put themselves in a better position, and now are moving on forwards. It's under 2 minutes to go. So at best it's this lap and one more.
Yeah, Cantarelli is going to improve, I think, but it's not going to be enough to get him too much further up the order.
Mercouris goes third. That's a good lap from Theo Mercouris.
Yeah.
Team Virage. Has he got anything left in the tank? 6 tenths off.
Cantarelli goes to P3.
That counts out, by the way, that CLX car. They're on another good lap. Adrian David, meanwhile, will not improve on this lap. He's done track limits. He'll get one more crack at this, though.
Yeah, he will get one more lap before the checker.
It's tiny gaps after second. It's 4 tenths, 2 tenths, tenth, half a tenth, just under a tenth, and again.
Yeah.
It's the 4 tenths at the top for Adrian David that really defines this session.
Yeah, the top 4, it all seems that they're nearly there, but not quite. They're sort of like 2 tenths off, 3 tenths off, half a second off, and they can't quite switch the tyre back on again. And they've used up that goodness when the tyre is brand new, and you get the most pace out of it. And yeah, everybody's hunting, maybe overdriving a tick, just using a little bit too much road in some spots. Track limits.
In the CLX car moves up to 4th. But,
yeah, that's a sign of frustration. There's 5, 6 cars have all got track limits in that first sector. Guys are really looking to lay it down, and they're just overcooking it.
So the clock is about to tick down. We've got a number of cars that are about to cross the line and might just make it through for another lap. Who's going to be the first to get the checker? We'll see that in a moment or two. And the answer, I think, is going to be Cantarelli. Cantarelli does indeed get the checkered flag. 3rd and no better. Also crossing the line to finish the session. Freddie Tomlinson and Ginetta 14th is the best that they can do. And now a gaggle of midfield cars. What about the front of the grid? I'm not seeing major attacks here. We've got a good lap underway from Oscar Tunyo in the 2nd place car in the order at the moment, but he's, what is that, half a tenth off pole position pace in sector 1. Sector 2 is the critical one here to see whether or not this is a challenge or not. 1 or 2 up on their best times, but nothing, I don't think, is going to bother Adrian David.
No, I don't
sort of
think
kicked
so.
the life out of that session, didn't it?
It did a little, yeah. It's a shame.
And it's a good 2nd sector from Oscar Tunyo, but I don't think good enough.
Yeah, he's still about 4 tenths off, isn't he? Looking at it.
Adrian David looks to be
Ultramar. Yeah, he's looking like he could
move up.
Yeah,
certainly.
he could be into the top
Another of our
7 or 8
Green Series graduates, Cedric Ultramar. and looking to make a away from him right at the end.
Cool.
Tonio, no improvement on that one.
Fell away massively.
It did. So whether or not that was a couple of cars in close contention in turn 15, whether or not he just lost the grip he thought he'd have there. Timo Kuris, he finishes his lap. There's no improvement there either. Just looking, the final car to cross the line is going to be the number 4 Ades, and there's no improvement going to be available there. So it is Adrian David, RHGP, add another point to their already championship winning total.
Yeah.
It's been a hugely impressive season from them. What do they do next season? Do we see them move up with the Duquesne to the European Le Mans Series, where they're entitled to make that request? Seem to recall that the rule book says win that title, and effectively if you want to move up,
You can.
the last team in LMP3 this year has little choice but to move aside.
Oh, really? Okay.
But it's been a very impressive season indeed from this squad. One of a number of previously principally single-seater squads, RHGP, that's been taking a taste of sports car racing. Another one coming next year when Campos Racing move into LMP3. My presumption is that they're talking to race organisers about the Michelin Le Mans Cup.
Yeah, I believe they are, yes.
23 events racing. Finished the session in 3rd place with Matteo Quintarelli. They'll be frustrated, I think, with that. Oscar Tonio, a good run to 2nd. He'll be frustrated with that. I think he'll feel that that was within his reach at a couple of points here. But it is our championship winners, the 85 RHGP Duquesne, that take pole position and the single point. And whilst it was Adrian David that set that time, let's go down, speak to his teammate who's with Steph in pit lane now.
Thanks, Graham. As you mentioned, I am joined with Hugo Schwarzer, driver of the number 85 RHGP. Adrian David, your teammate, has done fantastic throughout qualifying this season, and you've had a very dominant campaign. It's another point to add to your already championship-winning title.
Yeah, mega lap by Adrian. Obviously put the lap in very early and managed to secure pole position with that. Awesome job once again by the whole team.
You yourself, of course, do have a lot of pace in this car as well. What are your expectations for the final race of the season?
I mean, starting from pole, it can't get any better. I'm looking forward to the race. Just going to push ahead, try to build a gap on lap 1, and then just look forward.
Best of luck. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
That's a smile and a tone to Hugo Schwarzer. That's just what a time to be coming into the final race of the season, already champions, and basically it's all about adding to that total. There they sit, 138.160, 4 tenths of a second ahead. The RHGP 85 Duquesne of the Gebhardt car. So it's a Duquesne 1-2 in that session. Then the 23 events racing 50 and the 87 CLX Motorsports Ligiers make up the second row with Matteo Quintarelli and Pierre-Henri Alexandre Provost. Timo Kuris and Nicholas Bourne, another pair of Ligiers, will sit on row 3 for Team Virage and Reiter Engineering. And then on and on, down through to the 18th place car, Thomas Inboard in that luckless CD Sport car. Thanks for joining us. Thanks so much for Ollie Gavin for helping us out on a day when, unfortunately, my colleague Johnny Palmer is unwell. We'll see you tomorrow for the race, but join us this afternoon for qualifying for the European Le Mans Series and for the final race of the season, the Ligier European Series. I've been Graham Goodwin. He's been Ollie Gavin. Good afternoon.